Hello, Professor Aziz. We are Jolt Technologies, reporting our final presentation on our GLO-BUS simulation results for spring 2021. So first of all, we just like to start out explaining our strategy. So throughout the simulation, we consistently adopted and really never modified our strategy. A cost leadership strategy made the most sense for our products in the AC camera and UAV drone sectors. And this was due to product quality and market share. So we wanted to make sure our wonderful cameras and drones were accessible, but also affordable, while also making a profit and reaching into new and emerging markets. So we had three main goals: offer, obtain, and increase. We wanted to offer high quality, low PQ ratio products, obtain substantial market share to achieve those economies of scale, and increase margins by cutting costs in our value chain. So next, just going over some performance metrics from years 6 to 15. Here we've outlined the performance of Jolt Technologies, and as you can see, we crushed years 6 to 9 in all categories. Stock price in particular shows very high margins, and in years 10 to 15, many external and internal sources affected our performance. Specifically, stock price, ROE, and EPS took a major hit in years 10 and 11, and that really hurt our projected performance that we forecasted into those later years. We do lend our great performance in years 6 to 9, though, to organized decision making, optimal pricing of our drones and cameras compared to PQ ratios, and also marketing heavily as a whole in North America, Europe, Africa, Asia Pacific, and those Latin American regions.
Great. So moving into more specifics on how we were successful and unsuccessful, specifically concerning factors. So starting out with our successes with environmental and ecosystem factors, our company really tried to make a concerted effort into improving our image through CSR. We felt this was important for our company, especially in this modern era. As far as industry goes, we were able to capitalize in the early years with our low-cost strategy. There was really only one other competitor in this area, but come around to years 10, a few more firms started to move into this strategy. So that is actually one of our failures as well, our inability to adapt to that. As far as internally, we felt that we had a strong sense of strategy and direction in the early years. We knew what we wanted to do. We knew how to do it. We knew our goals, and we were able to achieve those in the earlier years. As far as shortcomings go for environmental and ecosystem factors, our firm had a failure to mitigate exchange rate fluctuations starting in year 10. In the previous years, they were all positive. And year 10, they kind of caught us off guard, and we were unable to adapt to them. As far as the industry goes, we had a failure to adjust to demand drop-offs in the later years. Our strategy worked well in the early years when demand was increasing and the market was young. But as the market started to mature, we didn't adapt our strategy early enough to those demand drop-offs. We should have been cutting costs earlier than we did. And as far as internally, that's kind of what I covered, the inability to adapt strategy to a maturing market. We were still treating our market like it was growing around year 10, 11, 12. We kind of caught on starting year 13 when we tried to start cutting costs. And as far as team factors go, we felt that our team had a positive dynamic. We felt everyone had a voice, everyone had the capability and ability to contribute to the discussion. And our processes, we had scheduled meeting times and regimented decision-making in those meetings. We were able to complete all assignments and complete all of our decision-making on time. And we did not have any conflict in our team, and we had no shortcomings in our dynamic or processes.
So what would we have done differently? We relied very heavily on our low-cost strategy. Throughout the years, and even during times where the market was extremely unfavorable, we would stick to our low-cost, low PQ ratio products in order to retain our market share and compete with our competitors. But in the long run, that ended up being a negative contributor to our EPS, ROE, and stock price. We really should have gone beyond the boundaries just a little bit in order to stay up with investor expectations. We should have also taken small hits throughout the years in order to do minor upgrades to our products to increase our PQ and still have time to recover from that change. We also could have issued more stocks and then repurchased them later on in order to get more funds. This action also would have helped out our ROE and would have potentially allowed us to meet investor expectations in later unfavorable years. And finally, we also could have improved our margins earlier in the simulation, more specifically in the beginning of the years 6 through 9, so that when the industry began to mature, we would already be ahead of the game. And now we have some personal lessons learned. We're each just going to read off kind of our quotes from what we took away from the simulation.
Yeah, so my main takeaway is that you should always be innovating and adapting. Resting on your past successes or laurels is definitely a recipe for failure.
Awesome. And my takeaway was that marketing can significantly impact your company metrics and not to ignore spending in this sector. Really, our EPS, ROE, and stock price significantly increased when we paid a lot of attention to marketing.
For myself, vision is key. As long as you keep that vision, you'll end up exactly where you want to be. This kind of is in tune with something that we wrote in our team charter that said we wanted to at least finish somewhere in the top 5, which we were able to achieve.
And for me, mine was I learned that the smallest change could have a big impact. And that was with like the product prices. We increased it like $1 or $2, and it made a big change. So lessons learned as a team. We learned that we perform better when making decisions early in the week. This was really helpful to us because when we made decisions early in the week, we were able to go to class, and in class we were able to get information, and this would give us time to go back and make adjustments in case we saw something new or something was mentioned that could probably help us to get first place. Another thing was we were really motivated to try and get first place. So as a team, we were really motivated to get first place. That was our goal from the beginning. And because of this, it felt like we were being competitive in the market and we weren't just doing busy work the whole time. And we were also very flexible when it came to time. We were able to work around each other's schedules. And because of this, we were able to meet together and make decisions as a team. So recommendations for future GLO-BUS participants. It says to only give 2, but we saw multiple, so we decided to choose our top 5. These are: make decisions as a team and have time in order to make careful, decisive decisions, not last-minute ones. Because if you do the last-minute decisions, you're just gonna not get any good ratings on anything. Another one was everyone has strengths and weaknesses. Figure out what they are so that they can help in the decision making. This was very helpful to us because some of us were able to move the prices in the products, and that helped a lot. Or we could have just changed how our product design was going to be. Another one was formulate an intricate team charter. This helps you to see what everybody needs to do, ask for help, and read and fully understand the participant's guide. And that is our presentation. Thank you from Jolt Technologies.